Just tell me if you have been there. Caffeine is great, but sometimes it can be too much. You decide to give decaf coffee a try. Soon after, you feel lethargic, your productivity drops, you are tired, and you feel socially excluded. Plus, decaf coffee just doesn't taste that great, right? What if there was another way? We started this journey with a hypothesis, as all good experiments must have. Can we inject some days where we have decaffeinated coffee in between normal coffee days within our weekly routine and still feel fine? That is, still being able to function as normal, be productive as normal, not feeling tired, not suffer any withdrawal symptoms, and all of this while we achieve a reduction in our overall caffeine intake. That is a tall order, right? How did we do? Stick around to find out. If we're just meeting, my name is Tassos Koidis. I'm a food prof here at Queen's University Belfast. Like and subscribe to this channel to help me produce even more videos about food and health. You might be asking why you would want to decrease your caffeine intake. Well, the major thing is sleep, for me at least. I have been for once a good example to demonstrate that. Coffee affects my sleep. There is no doubt about that. Even my doctor agrees that that's the case. I try to set boundaries such as no regular coffee after 5 p.m, but my earlier coffee consumption varied from 2 to 3 cups, maybe to 4 to 5 cups, especially when I visit coffee shops with those double shot drinks. Let's just say that I have a vested interest not to cut caffeine completely, but to reduce it if I can, without the added drama, without the craves, without the rapid heartbeat and the sweats. So I sat down with my team here at Queen's University, PhD students Wenyang.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Wenyang Jia, and I am a student at Queen's University Belfast.
Yuhan.
Hi, my name is Yuhan Wang. I'm also a PhD student here at Queen's.
And Matthew.
Hi everyone, I'm Matthew, a PhD student in Clydas Lab.
And we devised this small experiment to test our hypothesis. We would pick 2 coffees, a regular coffee with caffeine and a decaffeinated coffee, and we would randomly allocate it to our weekly schedule, each day being either a caff day or a decaf day. Yuhan here will coordinate administering the coffee, and we even invited a couple of extra volunteers.
Hello, my name is Katerina Theodoridou. I'm Senior Lecturer in Farm Animal Nutrition at Queen's University Belfast.
Thank you, Katerina. And undergraduate student Amy.
Hi, my name is Amy and I'm a food science student at Queen's University Belfast.
Bewley's, a company from Ireland, saved the day because not only provided the coffee, thank you Bewley's, thank you Julie Murray, Head of Coffee and Culture, but also matched the taste and the aroma of the decaf coffee to that of a standard coffee, so that it will be more difficult for us to predict it, right? Even just from taste. Bewley's has an iconic store in Grafton Street in Dublin city centre, and if you haven't seen it, if you haven't been there, I suggest that you do. It's amazing, and of course, they serve excellent coffee. Back to our little experiment. These are the design principles. We, the participants, will receive the coffee pre-grounded in small individual bags, filled with 35 grams of coffee, enough for a day's use, for preparation of up to 4 cups of coffee. So 7 bags in total. We would use a coffee maker of our choice. In most cases, it would have been a filter coffee or a French press. We will not control the preparation method, how many cups of coffee each of us drank that day, as this is a matter of personal preference. We will not control milk or sugar. At the end of the day, we would fill a questionnaire with 3 simple questions. 1. What type of coffee did you prepare today, including how many cups? Did you feel tired or energetic on a scale from 1 to 10? And 3. What coffee you think you got today, as a guess, as a prediction. We fully randomize the decaf design, where 0 is decaf and 1 obviously is caff. Here's the final design that the trial coordinator Yuhan worked with. As you see, I had a week starting with decaf coffee on Monday, followed by normal caffeinated coffee on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday were decaf days, when the rest of the week had again normal coffee. Of course, I didn't know shit. All I had were these 7 bags with my name on it, 1 for each day. The rest of the team, the same. All of them had 2 or 3 decaf days randomly spread in their week. So we started. Wish us good luck and stick around for the results. What were your expectations going into this experiment? I thought I will be able to find each coffee, what type it is. I didn't know it will be hard. But also I thought I will not experience any cravings, any tiredness or any productivity. I'll be okay, I'll manage.
Going into the study, I expected it to be quite difficult to differentiate between the caffeine and the decaf versions of coffee.
I went into this experiment expecting to be successfully able to guess each coffee type with no problem.
Does caffeine generally affect you, and how?
I don't believe that I have a caffeine sensitivity normally, as I can drink a cup of coffee and not feel any energy boost after.
As I said before, especially if I go over or if I drink coffee after 4 or 5 p.m, that generally affects me and I would have sleeping problems.
Being someone who drinks coffee daily, though always instant coffee, and I typically have a very high caffeine tolerance.
Caffeine plays an important role in my life and I really enjoy a nice cup of coffee early morning.
I always drink coffee at the morning and in the afternoon. The reason is very simple, because the coffee makes me feel energetic when I was working, and so that makes me kind of addicted to that.
Do you ever drink decaf coffee, and why? I do, especially in the past year. Usually instant decaf, but also espresso from pre-ground coffee. Just because I can easily make it, I guess, in between regular coffees. Or if I have to drink something after 5 p.m.
And for that reason, I would typically choose caffeinated versions over decaf, as well as I had the perception that decaf coffee wouldn't taste as nice due to the removal process of caffeine.
Also, for the decaf coffee, I actually didn't try decaf coffee before because they are not sold as much as normal coffee, and I didn't pay more attention on that.
What types of coffees you prepared? I prepared espresso and Americano filtered coffee using a Hario V60, which is a manual filter coffee brewer.
I really enjoy partaking in this experiment, as I would typically make instant coffee as a student on my student budget. So I enjoyed using a French press this week to make my coffees each day.
In this experiment, I used the filter machine to make the coffee, and also the water added into the coffee was remain the same.
During this experiment, I prepared filter coffee with sugar.
How was your experience during the week with the coffees you prepared? I started well. I was able to pick up caf and decaf very easily, but then towards the end of the week, I felt that the line was thinner and thinner. That
I misidentified caffeine as decaf once and vice versa another time. When during the day I was confident I knew the exact type of coffee it was. One factor that affected my experience was that I typically consume a supplement called pre-workout, containing a blend of caffeine and amino acids and also creatine monohydrate before the gym. But I ran out during this week of the experiment, leading to a somewhat skewed experience in regard to the end of the day fatigue.
I making the coffee, there were two color and also gave me two different feeling when I was drinking the coffee. One is a dark brown and one is the light brown, and
the difference was smaller and smaller. I tried to remove from my mind how the coffee tastes and focus on what I feel after drinking coffee, which was what this experiment was all about, I guess. But it was getting harder and harder each day to predict. I didn't know that the differences will be not that prominent. How do you feel? Do you feel your productivity and your energy?
Some days I was really productive, full of energy, whereas other days I feel really sleepy and I need to prepare more cup of coffee during the day.
And the dark brown one make me feel energetic, and also the light brown making me feel like drinking the hot water or some just plant things. Yeah, so what I'm getting is that the dark brown one is a normal one, because it gave me the same feeling when I was going outside and buy the coffee from coffee shop, and the light brown one is the decaf one.
I felt fine all week around, I have to be honest with you. I didn't feel I was missing the caffeine shot. How did you do? Did you find the correct answers? Did you expect the results? Were you surprised by your own guesses? Yes and no.
About the results, I was surprised by my own guessing and I was not right in all of them.
However, upon revealing my results, I did better than I expected, with 5 out of the 7 days answered correctly.
Generally, I'm surprised by the result, but intrigued to see whether over time my drinking less instant and more proper ground coffee would improve my prediction ability.
I started well, and I felt confused towards the end of the week. I felt okay. I felt that the two coffees, the calf and the decaf, they have been blended, you know, in my mind. I thought that they are the same, and I could go on still enjoying every day this type of coffee, either calf or decaf in the end of the day.
I was surprised at my results, as I did notice I was more energetic this week, but more so on the first 2 days that I had the caffeinated coffees. Therefore, this has made me believe I might have or might not be as sensitive to the caffeine in coffees as I believed at first. However, I did notice on Sunday that I guessed incorrectly that I had decaf coffee, whereas I actually had caffeinated coffee, and this was my lowest energy days overall. I just believe from having such a busy week that my energy levels were just low overall, regardless of the caffeine.
Would this experiment change your behavior or perceptions or attitude towards coffee? And if yes, in what way? Absolutely, for me, absolutely it did. First, I will stop buying this garbage instant decaf because it's just disgusting.
All in all, it's given me a new appreciation for ground coffee, as well as a respect for the role that caffeine plays in my daily life. Whether I'll try and change that in the future or not is still up in the air.
Overall, my perceptions of coffee have changed, as I noticed that the decaf coffee tastes very similar to the caffeinated coffee, as well as now I believe that caffeine has more of an impact on my energy levels overall.
Secondly, I will try to find a good quality decaf, stock it in my coffee drawer and use it at least some days a week. I'm even thinking of making a decaf day. Guys, let's do Decaf Tuesday. Are you on?
The results are what I was guessing, then I think I don't want to change my behavior, and I will keep shopping the normal coffee and try to avoid the decaf one. That's what I was thinking right now. Thank you very much.
In general, it was a great fun and a very interesting experiment. Thank you for that.
So if you see the overall results, you will see the pattern. On one hand, it is quite difficult for the average person to differentiate decaf from calf coffee when they are supplied good quality coffees. On the other hand, people coped very well, for the most part, even after 2 or 3 consecutive days with decaf coffee, and they are willing to consider it as an option going forward, which is great news, I mean, isn't it? That's it, hypothesis proven. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have an idea that you want us as a group to do more of these things, these food challenges, just drop us a comment down below. Check my other videos on the screen, especially the playlist about coffee. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to help me work on more videos. Until next time, bye bye!